Okay, hello, welcome to Comic Book Syndicate. This is Mike L, and we are joined by longtime co-host G.I. Jolie. Thanks for joining us, Jolie.
Hello.
All right, and also joining us for the first time ever is special guest Rosanna. Thank you for joining us, Rosanna. And
Hi.
hi, thanks for joining us. And the reason that we invited you on the show is because I was actually scrolling through my feed and I saw, was it CTV?
That's right.
CTV in Windsor did a story on your gigantic Barbie collection.
Barbie helicopter! Oh, dream house.
Wow.
Gorgeous.
That's amazing.
Oh, the camper van's there. Holiday Barbie. Hello. Amazing.
Very cool. Very cool. Thank you for showing us that.
Thank you.
And so before we jump into the movie review for the smash hit film Barbie, can you just tell us a little bit about your Barbie collection? First of all, when did you start collecting Barbies?
I started collecting Barbies at least age 6, knowing that I wanted more and more. This is one that I've had since I was about 6 years old. This is totally this is Happen in Hair Barbie.
Okay.
So she's from about 1997.
Wow, okay.
And just my collection has been going on since then. I collected even more when I was 15, and then probably when I was 25.
And do you have any more there that you can show us?
Yeah, I have the pregnant Midge doll who's featured in the film,
Wow.
the Barbie movie. There
And
she
so,
is.
Is that a rare figure then?
One more time.
They discontinued her. Almost
Yeah,
like
they haven't
immediately.
featured her in any other production, so this is kind of the last of her.
Wow.
Yeah, this is
okay.
about 2006,
Interesting.
and she comes with a pregnant belly and the baby, but the baby is in the other room right now,
Wow.
being in the nursery that I created.
Do you have the one with the TV in the chest? Wasn't that in the movie? Is that a real Barbie?
That's an actual Barbie, yes, but I don't have that one. I
Wow,
wanted
okay.
to show the one that was featured on CTV, President Barbie.
Oh, nice. Very cool. Okay.
Yeah.
That's very awesome. So, what is your plan? Are you going to keep these Barbies forever? Are you going to sell them, or what's the plan here?
I think I'm just going to keep collecting them. There was one time where I sold 5 of them, and I still know which ones they are that left my collection to go to a different person's collection. So I don't think I'll be selling anymore. I put so much time into them. So, yeah.
And so, are you still hurting over the sale of those 3 Barbies or those 5 Barbies?
Yeah. Like I said, I still remember them. One of them was Rizzo from Greece. One of them was this like 40th celebration Barbie. So,
Oh, I feel your pain. Believe me, I've got all my Transformers from when I was a kid, and I've only sold a few of them, and it still hurts me. It's like a part of my soul is gone. But anyway, okay, so we're not here to talk about. We're gonna post some more pictures if you don't mind later on in the review. But for now, we're here to talk about the movie, the Smash It movie. So as we record this right now, it's July 27th. This probably won't be posted right away because the strike is on. So we're gonna hold off until the strike is over, the SAG actors strike. But I'm actually gonna ask you, G.I. Jolie, first. We saw this in the theaters. Well, you saw it and I saw it. I saw it on the Thursday night. So what night did you see it? Oh, sorry, your microphone is off, actually.
Sorry,
Okay.
I just didn't want to crap. Okay, I saw it on a Monday night.
Okay, and it was sold out?
It was a sea of Barbie pink and like patent leather boots or whatever, and it was really hard to find a seat, like 3 together. So it was like either at the front or at the very, very top, and then there was nothing else.
That's amazing.
Like on a Monday.
Right. The comparison for me would be Batman in 1989. That was the most exciting movie event of my life. And me and all my friends went on opening night, and it was just the audience engagement. I've never seen anything like it. It was great. But tell us, obviously everyone's been talking about this film online, but just tell us your own personal experience. What did you think about this movie? What was your reaction to it?
Me?
Yeah, G.I. Jolie first, and then we'll go to Rosanna.
Oh, shoot. I cried. It's so good. I cried because I played with Barbie. I was a Barbie girl. So I she was almost like the only doll that I had in my house. But I cried because it was so good. I cried because everything was fantastic, and I cried because like I identify as a woman and I identify as like there was a lot of emotions tied to this movie, and it wasn't. I cried because it wasn't just about Barbie, and I truly didn't know or go into the film with any expectations other than I was going to see Margot Robbie play Barbie. And there was like some element of the real world in there too. I just didn't really. I let my expectations kind of like I didn't have any. I just let myself be in awe, and it was really helpful because this movie will change your life. Okay, sorry.
Okay, so Rosanna, what was your initial reaction seeing this movie?
It was another moment for me to actually identify with Barbie because they say in the beginning, all these women are Barbie and Barbie is all of these women. So I wasn't expecting there to be like so many different reasons for me to enjoy it because actually I wasn't going to see it.
Really?
But just, let's see, coming back to my point. Yeah, I just felt really pretty being there. I felt really excited being there. But the actual film itself, I have to say, I wasn't expecting to see so much of Ken. I think we really had a chance to get more of the character Ken.
Okay, so did you think there was too much or not enough Ken, or just the right amount of Ken?
Yeah, I'd say it's just the right amount of Ken because the actual doll line doesn't have Ken going to outer space. It really is only Barbie who has these like magical outfits. Like Ken's featured sometimes, but yeah.
So the thing for me is like I'm a huge fan of Noah Baumbach, the co-writer. I'm a huge fan of Greta Gerwig, right? I've seen all of her movies except for the first one. And I obviously love Ryan Gosling. I love Margot Robbie. So going in, I had high expectations. The trailer blew me away. I thought, this is great. Like even people that didn't want to see the film, I showed them the trailer and they all became interested, right? So I think it still managed to exceed my expectations. Like I kind of knew what they were going to go for, but I just didn't know how they were going to do it. And on top of like, I knew that they were going to go for some social commentary in there, but I think that it was even more intelligent than I thought it would be. And I also thought it was funnier than I expected it to be. It was also, I didn't know there'd be music in there. I thought the music was great. Like some of the songs, were catchy enough that I'm like, I'm going to seek this out. I'm going to dig this song up on YouTube and listen to it again. And it's also a film that appeals to every age and every gender, I think. Like, I mean, I'm 47, I'm a guy, and I'm in there, and I loved every second of it. So I can only imagine what I would have been like if I was a kid or a girl going in and just like this, again, it's like Batman or Superman on film for the first time. And it was not just, there have been some bad adaptations made, like the 1993 Super Mario Brothers movie that everyone remembers. Like it was so bad, right? From what I remember, there's been some bad adaptations of kids' properties and toys and video games, but this one was so much better than I expected it to be. Why don't we talk briefly about the actors? Like, so Gia Julie, what about Margot Robbie as Barbie?
It was to be expected. We all know that she's a fantastic actor. We all know that Ryan Gosling. I honestly I almost don't want to talk about them because it's almost like we get it. They're like Academy Award nominated, or we already know that they're really good. Her as Barbie, it's like Barbie is everybody, so Barbie is Margot Robbie. There's really not much to say other than she did a great job.
She did, and she actually. This is crazy because I've seen her in so many movies. I actually saw more of her range in this role than a lot of her other roles. Like she's already played Harley Quinn, which is kind of literally a cartoon character. But even a movie like Wolf of Wall Street or some of her more serious roles, I actually saw more of her emotional range in this film. So I thought she was really good. Rosanna, what did you think of Margot Robbie?
I thought, her appearance is perfect for the doll. The doll is a slender blonde. And I think she did a good job. We're in an imaginary world and we're sitting in her Barbie house, and it really came to life with her.
Okay, so now we're going to talk about my favorite leading man in Hollywood, Ryan Gosling. Again, somehow a guy who's been in so many of my favorite movies outdoes himself. I don't think I've ever laughed so hard because he's done some slightly comic roles like Nice Guys and stuff, but I thought he was so funny in this movie, and he looked like he was having so much fun. G.I. Julie, what did you think of Ryan Gosling in this movie?
It reminded me of like back in the day, Ryan Gosling, like what's that show where they're on a cruise ship?
Breaker High.
Breaker High.
Fantasy Island. No, I don't know. Okay.
Breaker High, yeah.
Okay.
Rosanna said it. It reminded me of like him at his comedic best, because he's playing off like a sort of best friend Ken with Simu Liu, but like, again, it's hard to assess these actors when there's nothing really when they're like flawless.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I am mad at the people who before the film were like, Ryan Gosling, he's too old to be Ken. It's like, Margot Robbie's in her 40s too, isn't she? Or 30s.
She's like 32, yeah.
Yeah, it's like is it Barbie Robertson or Barbie Roberts?
Barbara Millicent Roberts.
Yes, Roberts. She can be whatever age. Ryan Gosling also, we don't know who Ken is. We don't know how old he is. Who cares? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was reminded of Alan, so...
Oh yeah, I mean we could have a separate podcast just about Michael Cera. I love Michael Cera. But Rosanna, what did you think of Ryan Gosling as Ken?
I didn't find him to be, out of an age range or anything, because quite frankly, Ken has always had an older appearance than Barbie has, because Barbie first came out as a teenage fashion doll. So Ken has always kind of had typically a different face than I would say a teenager. So.
Okay, I didn't realize that. So when Barbie came out, she was meant to be a younger person. I didn't realize that, like a teenager. Mm-hmm. Oh, I had no idea. Okay. So so here's the thing is there's a lot to take away from this film, and I loved every minute of it. I love the script. I love the ending. Was there anything, G.I. Julie, that what was it that you took away from it? I mean, and we don't have to get into an analysis of it, but what do you think was the main thing that you took away from the story, I guess?
Just existing is hard. Like functioning in a reality or within your own reality or what you feel like is reality is hard, and it's a challenge, and maybe you shouldn't give up. Maybe you should work to dismantle the patriarchy, even though, like, even for men, when you find out the patriarchy isn't really about horses, don't give up. Don't lose interest. It was like peeling back an onion as you went along. At first, you think it's about Barbie Land and like the myth or the lie of Barbie Land that the Barbie dolls, Barbies and Kens live. And then you realize, that they get to the real world. In the real world, they introduce to you like Mattel and, corporations, and even that is kind of part of it's part of the fiction, the nonfiction. I never remember which one is.
Fiction's the fake one.
Okay, it's part of. One. Yeah, you assume when she goes into the real world, it's about the fiction of the real world, but Mattel is a fictionalized version of Mattel. And then it really is, and then you meet America Ferrera's character, who plays the person who is playing with her Barbie doll, and then you realize this is just a film with layers about how hard it is to just exist, no matter who you are, no matter what you like, no matter what you don't like. We are all struggling, and maybe it is like a togetherness thing that we all need to to figure out.
Rosanna, so what was the main thing you took away from this film?
I was gonna say, like, I needed to appreciate my womanhood. I needed to appreciate feminism, and I saw that in the character Gloria, because she talks about how she's just a boring mom. I'm like, wait a minute, maybe I'm not just a boring woman. Maybe there's something interesting about me. I'm not a parent, but again, just this this message going home of you can be anything, you can be whatever, that really stuck with me.
Well, and the thing is, I mean, this movie was ultimately produced by Mattel, so there's going to be some cynicism from some viewers going in, but if there was any type of agenda by Mattel or any type of censorship, I guess you could say, or studio interference, I did not see it. Even with the trailer, they used the line from Margot Robbie in the trailer. Do you ever think about dying? Just the fact that this movie went there, I thought was impressive, and the way that they handled this story was impressive, and even the very, very ending, the last line of the film, which I'm not going to spoil, I was impressed that Greta Gerwig wrote that, and that the Mattel left it in the film, and that they allowed that to kind of be not the cliffhanger, but the kind of like the last beat that you see in that film. So I got to give props to Mattel. Whatever you may think about this as a product, the film itself does not disappoint, I don't think. And there's been so much backlash by people who haven't seen the film, right? And the first thing I say to every single one of these guys, which is mostly guys, is that where was this hatred for the Transformers films, or any of the terrible Batman films, or any of the films based on stuff that they grew up with, right? It's just because it's a toy that's created for young girls that there's this hatred, and it's almost so comical that it's laughable, but it's still disheartening to see it. But the sweet revenge is that every single showing is selling out to this. It's already been a week and it's still doing well. It's already the number one opened movie. It's the number one opening of the year. It's probably going to beat Super Mario Brothers. So I am ecstatic about that. I guess the other question is I've really felt like this story was complete, but there's already people asking, is there going to be a Barbie 2? Gia, Julie, do you think we need a Barbie 2, or should they leave this story as it is?
No, leave it alone. Like, stop. There inevitably will be a Barbie 2, probably, but I hope it's not like, I hope they don't use the same characters.
Right.
Or they, you know what I mean? Like, I hope they don't focus on stereotypical Barbie. Maybe they look at some of the other Barbies that are in Barbie Land and like go from there. Or maybe it's a Ken adventure. Who knows? Maybe I feel like Ken's going to get his day, or maybe not. Maybe this is Mattel saying, hey, we have like 1 billion Kens on the shelf. Mm-hmm. And none of them are at the beach. So,
right.
Maybe we'll get a Ken movie.
Mm-hmm. Rosanna, what do you think? Do we need a Barbie 2?
Personally, I'm going to go with no to a Barbie Part 2, because I think the characters do get some kind of fulfillment, especially Ken. I want to say Ken being like an antagonist, but yet we do get to see him grow. As we know, some of the punchlines that come, right? How he just starts to describe himself at the end. But like, I want to say there's never been like such a cool moment to see like men's mental health looking good. The song is just really cool. Him talking about Kenergy. I also thought that like that Barbie herself too, going to the real world in the end actually gives us more instead of her going back to Barbie Land. But I don't see a part 2.
I gotta agree. Here's the thing is, if there is going to be another Barbie film, I agree with Gia Jolie, like focus on different characters, because technically they could have other Barbies star in it. And I think that Greta Gerwig and Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling, they have done such a good job that I would not want to see them try to top it. I'd rather just see someone else's take on this idea. That's what I'd like to see. But the fact that it's making so much money that it's kind of inevitable that we'll do a sequel. But I definitely think that this story is complete, and I don't think they can follow it up personally.
No, I think that Greta Gerwig is beyond sequels. She's beyond a franchise. They enlisted the right people to create one movie, and they like killed it immediately. And I think it should just live on its own forever. Like this, the cultural landscape has been forever changed by this film. Like people will write papers about this movie. People will study this in film studies class and like women's studies classes and like sociology classes. Just leave it. Don't do Greta Gerwig a disservice by doing a Barbie 2 and then getting like John Woo to do it or something.
Right,
or like
exactly.
Mick G. I know it. They'll just do it. They'll just hand it to Mick G. And he'll just be sad because Cameron Diaz is too old to be a Barbie doll now.
Right. Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, I'm with you. I mean, we've all seen how these things can go south. So yeah, I kind of want them to leave it alone, but we'll see what happens. But again, in the wake of some recent bombs from Hollywood, like Indiana Jones, The Flash, one of the biggest bombs in history, and then even the disappointing box office of Mission Impossible, I think that Barbenheimer has proved that people do want to go to the movie theater. They do want to see movies. They want to pay money. And even if the movie wasn't half as good as it was, which it is a great movie, I'm so excited that we saw all these people dressed in pink and everyone out to have such a good time. Like, you know, I do love serious dramas, but I also like popcorn films when they're good, right? And I think this is an example of a popcorn film that's not a mindless action CGI blockbuster. It's a popcorn film that's just popular entertainment. Like, it's designed for an audience and it's entertaining and it's also smart. And I hope we can see more of this. Hopefully we will. But yeah, we'll have to see. So yeah, thank you so much, Rosanna, for joining us. It's been great having you along. And like I said, I'm going to be posting some pictures of your collection in our review. So please be sure to send us those pictures, and we're looking forward to seeing them. And we've also did a review of Barbie comics on our show recently. So if you're interested, I can send that your way, and you can check out some of those classic Barbie comics if you haven't read those already. So there you go.
Perfect. Thank you.
Awesome. All right. So thank you, G.I. Jolie, for joining us. And be sure to join us every week on an episode of our various podcasts. Here Comes the Spider-Cast is done. We are doing Slam. We're doing Tape Crusaders. We're doing Quasar Chronology. There's our 3 podcasts, plus our regular movie reviews. So there you go. Until next time, see you later.